Irish Times. Brian, your reaction to what has been announced today?
Well, we have had the abolition of the Guidance and Counselling Service. All 800 guidance counsellors working in schools will no longer be timetabled for guidance and counselling because
they have to teach.
They will be out of their guidance and counselling work. But this will have two effects. The first effect, which is not all that serious, is effectively that all of the careers work, helping students in terms of subject choice, helping students in terms of college, all of that will go because effectively you won't be in a position to see students and visit them on a one-to-one basis.
You mean to say that teachers who used to teach English and are now guidance counsellors, used to teach maths or science, are now guidance counsellors, they will go back to teaching the classroom?
They will. And when you see a student in terms of working with them, in terms of what their hopes and ambitions, etc. are, out of that process comes students who tell you about issues about depression, the bulimia, the anorexia, self-harm and all of that sort of thing. And you provide them with personal counselling if it's not serious issues and you refer them on otherwise. And the Department of Education currently support guidance counsellors by providing them with supervision in that. All of that work goes, so those children will no longer be picked up, and the result of this is children are going to die, they are going to not be picked up in the system, children will commit suicide who would have been saved. So for the sake of saving money, these children will die, and that is the result of the end of the Guidance and Counselling Service. A post will never be appointed again, no school will ever advertise for a guidance counsellor again because there is no such role, because there's no such allocation.
But in a big school like yours, where there are hundreds and hundreds of students, and in fact more students than ever before, because they're leaving the private schools, they can't afford them going to Oaklands. Surely what will happen is that you've so many classes, they'll just say, okay, we'll keep our guidance teacher, but we'll add a couple more students to each class. Is that really what's going to happen?
No, it won't, because effectively at the end of the day, because they have now cut the allocation, one teacher is going to have to move, because you're now one teacher over the quota. Who's going to replace that teacher? Where are you going to find the hours? A principal would have to decide not to have a teaching class, to put a guidance counsellor in an office to deal with students. It's the end of guidance and counselling as we know it in this country. And because there will be no appointments, the courses in the universities will close down, there will be no people trained, and ultimately at the end of the day, it will be an add-on to somebody's job. Here, give out those CEO forms to children. People will make the wrong choice in college.
People might think you're being melodramatic and say, well, look, if the Croke Park Agreement wasn't sacrosanct, they could do a little tweaking there.
Absolutely. But I would rather take a cut in my pay than have a child die as a result of the fact that resources are no longer going to be available for guidance and counselling. And when you see the Taoiseach ramming through a €30,000 increase for an advisor, and at the same time that support for children goes, it makes me sick, Pat.
All right, we'll move on to other things. There are other aspects.